All right, all right. Good morning, everyone. Hello, hello. It is 6:30. Wow, Red Dog is on time. You know what? I pride myself on being on time. Lately, I've been in the 6:30 club 1 or 2 minutes late, and I know that's a pain in the arse. I remember when I was doing the Ironman training back in the day, I did two of them, and you'd go at 5 o'clock in the morning for a 4-hour bike ride. And if you were 30 seconds late, everyone hated you because you're sitting there in your spandex, you're waiting for it to go, it's cold, and same thing here. Everyone's busy out there and everyone's got a lot of things to do. So at this point, I try and get here on time. Anyway, hope everyone's feeling well. My name is Scott Redler. I'm the Chief Strategic Officer of T3Live.com. Welcome to today's 6:30 Club. We've been doing this since 2020. And there's a lot of people making a lot of money out there, following along, building their process, their routine, and feeling pretty good. The thing is, you never get your highs too high, your lows too low. You just stay even keel. Keep looking for the setups. Keep using your tier system. Keep managing the process and keep stacking days. That's what we do. We stack days, day after day, week after week, month after month. That's how you get paid. That's how you feed your family. Anyway, so at this point, everyone's like, Red Dog, where are we now? If you take a look here at the chart of the SPY, all in all, it's pretty healthy digestion. Although some things feel a little shaky the last week or so, if you put things in perspective, the bottom line is, we have this upper flag. We peaked out in the SPYs at 600. The 8 days right here, you had a huge move. We've been going sideways. And I like sideways because when you go sideways, it's like you could find the relative strength, you could find the relative weakness, and you could really pick things out using your eyeballs. Like I'm a creature of reading the tape. So I have a number of level twos out there that I'm looking, watching. I'm seeing my go-to list. I'm seeing, like yesterday, when the SPYs were going up and Amazon's going up and things are happening and the IWM's not rallying, all of a sudden we're buying puts in the IWM. It's like that was the first time I made money short and long. I was always like, how do these hedge funds do it? These billion-dollar hedge funds being long and short. It's hard enough to figure out what direction. But anyway, that doesn't always happen. But the bottom line is, as long as things digest above just say 594, it's kind of easy to, it's not easy, but you could see the relative strength, relative weakness, and things kind of behave on their own merits. It's not just all dragged up or all dragged down. So far, so good right now. This morning, the SPYs are up at 597, kind of right smack in the middle of that. So, status quo. Look at the Qs, not so bad either. The Qs themselves also have a bit of a bull type flag. If you want to look up what a bull flag usually is a digestion pattern that is setting up a continuation, right? Right now, we're still above this gap or above that gap. Although it's choppy, it's still hanging in there. So it's still hanging in there and getting outperformance in different areas where yesterday, look what happened with the IWM. The IWM literally, peaked at 242. What was this? This was Tuesday. It broke below a prior low. And then yesterday, strength was sold. And you could have made money a lot of different ways. And guess what? It's still bullshit. It's still bullshit. It's all bullshit. No, I'm kidding. No, it isn't. But we're still above this gap and we're still above the 8 day. So as much as, the last 2 days felt weaker and choppy in the IWM, all it is digesting and giving you constructive action. That's why I always say entries and exits matter. We were actually long IWM calls into the election, which paid us well. But if you said, oh my God, now we're going, these 2 days hurt you. So again, how you position into an active sequence will give you the threshold to stay with it. Anyway, so, what's been working? Amazon. I got to say, finally, we really, really did well with Amazon. I've been pounding the pavement. It's been on my go-to list for years. Pre-split, I was talking about how they had to split the damn stock because Jeff was leaning on it. McKenzie was leaning on it. There's not enough volume. And, all of a sudden now, he's almost done. And if he's not, it's still, we've had a great setup here. This was post earnings. We started buying in the 202.50s, the 205.50s was long the stock, sold into strength, rolled up the options into the 212.50s and 215s. And then that happened. I love it. It's great when, and the market didn't do much yesterday. So congratulations if you were in it. You made the trade your own. You learned. You deserve to make money there. At this point, let me say hello to some of my dogs around the world. All right. Right now, I'll go through. This is everybody on Twitter, YouTube saying good morning. Okay. You could kind of see it over here. You could probably see yourself. This is Bobby 4.0. Bobby 4.0 has already reinvented himself 4 times. That means he had a lot of problems in the first and second time. No, I'm kidding. He just continues to get better and better. I try and do it also. You got Todd D SMCI, what is it doing? It's getting crushed. Good. You don't fall in love with stocks. You fall in love with trends. Above the 8 and 21 day, you're long. Below it, with a 50-day, you don't touch it, and that thing's been annihilated. That's a good lesson on what not to do. What up, EK Santo? We got the space specialist. Hello. We got Mikey Pags in the house. We got Marky Mark. What up, D Shah? What up, Johnny? How you doing from Hungary? The best thing about X, I still call it Twitter. Maybe I'm an old school guy, is that you can have friends around the world. You got Paris in the house, like-minded individuals, routine, process, family, fun, friends, right? What's better than that? And you could share it all together, as I've been doing for free here on the 630 Club. Just trying to add value, show you my experience, and hopefully, expand your learning curve. So this has been awesome. So, and I'm not going to say I'm in everything, because that, as awesome as that's been, people like Red Dog, you kind of suck. I'm like, what do you mean I kind of suck? I'm like, you haven't been in Netflix. I'm like, you know what? It's fine. In my note, in my charts, I post a chart every day with a plan for other people to take advantage of it. The good thing is Netflix, because it was able to break out of a range and act well, gives you confidence that other things could do it. So I was focusing on Tesla. I was focusing on Amazon, even a little bit on Apple and NVIDIA while this was going like that. But you could have been involved. The process worked, right? Big gap and go after earnings, 736. I do that lesson all the time, where you could just buy it, put your stop at that pivot. Then it put in a bull flag. Remember, on weekends, I'm like, guys, check out your chart patterns, learn bull flags, pennants, this, that, and then boom, look at that move. Anyway, it's great to see things work. Resolve and go and work. That's how we get paid. Let's see who else. We got Locust Funds. What up, buddy? What up, David? EOG. Oh, is that we're talking about energy stocks? I haven't played in energy stocks since last Shavuos. Is Boeing ready to bounce? All right, Jim. I'm going to talk about Boeing for a second, because this is different. Okay, Boeing is horrendous. It's been, a laggard. It's been horrible. Everyone's like, it's Boeing though. Who cares what it is? Okay. At this point, look at Boeing. Boeing had a great trend back last October above the 8-day until it broke, and it's been broken since. But, okay, now here's the but. Okay, Boeing is not going out of business, and from what I hear from people, because I am kind of connected into the political world. Actually, I'll say my brother was supposed to be named chief of staff for Marco Rubio, who's now going to be the Secretary of State, and he said no. But anyway, he says that Trump does like Boeing a lot. Okay, so at some point, maybe there's tax law selling. It's November 14th, probably next quarter or the first quarter of 2025. I bet you Boeing will be a great stock once the tax law selling is done. People get it off the books. So right now, if you've been buying it as a trader for a living, and you're supposed to get paid at the end of November, it's hurting in your P&L. It's going against your gains and other things. But if you don't really trade for a living, or you want to buy a leap in Boeing and maybe buy like the 170s for next, the third week of January, this is a different type of play. It's not a momentum play. It's you saying, hey, it's Boeing, but people did that a lot of different other names. But I agree. It's Boeing. Nobody likes it. It's the most hated stock out there. What I would do is buy options, go out 3 months, and this way risk is premium paid. If it doesn't work, you'll go out another 3 months, and at some point it'll work. Yes, that's just, I'm just telling you. Management matters. We need great leaders and move companies forward. Look at space. Space has been great. Look at this. Look at Lunar. Look at some of these things. Wow. My community's been in Lunar since 880. Okay, look at that move. But they don't take stock into earnings. Most of them sold it yesterday. This is a great chart. It's awesome to see stocks like this, show their face, give you follow through, go up. ASTS, I'm in options. We'll see. We were involved in here. It's been in consolidation mode for a while, Bobby. Had a nice little move here, and I was in it. I had to sell it yesterday because I don't take stock into earnings. I just don't do it. As a trader, you do some options and risk is premium paid. But yeah, this has been a great new sector. That's what they say. They say old leaders sometimes don't become the same leaders. Usually blue chip companies could stay in vogue, but they go through phases where they are out of play, etc. But there are new groups that come along. Same way with the energy names. How well did we do with Oklo? This name we started buying here, at 10:30. This turned into one of my best trades in October. If you guys were with me, which you were, if you were with me, meaning like I'm with you with me. But anyway, and now it's kind of consolidating up here. So it'll be interesting to see what happens post earnings if it can continue. But anyway, you're hearing a lot of bearish sentiment on NVIDIA. I will say, Rocky, Rock Austin, I like it. NVIDIA is the only semi that looks halfway decent. The other semis have been really getting beat up. Um, bearish sentiment is good because there's been too much bullish sentiment here. I think everyone in the world thinks it's going to break above 150 and give you one more move post earnings, and earnings are on November 19th, okay, which is next week. I will be honest, I'm long some 150 calls, for post earnings to see if it does a run prior, but it's just the semis have been a headwind. So instead of overly focusing on NVIDIA, which I haven't been, I've been focusing on Amazon and Tesla and so many different things, crypto. Look what the semis have done. Okay, after this little double top at 262, it's now below all the moving averages, and NVIDIA is still hanging here. So if the semis get some decent news, perhaps maybe this gives you a trade. If it were to break this spot here of 143, actively you have to get out. If you want to buy some options for earnings, you do so, but just don't have your rose-colored NVIDIA glasses. Short shop, that hasn't worked. Look at that move. Remember I talked about pro earnings gaps? Well, this held 106, and it's amazing that it had 4 days into it. So this does not look like you're looking for a cute short and chop. The real money's been long. A lot of guys took it for earnings. I didn't. So far, so good. It looks like it has a pro earnings gap here, just like here. Look at that last time. It gapped up and then started a new trend. Obviously, it might be a little hard for this to do it, but that does not look like a short to me. Anyway, you could be a little nervous. Why are you nervous? Do you own the Rock? Do you own NVIDIA from years ago? Do you own it for a trade? You bought it at the open yesterday and it's an old, I think NVIDIA's up this morning a little bit, right? Let's see, what's NVIDIA doing this morning? It's up $1.17. You bought it yesterday, trim some if you're nervous, or put a stop in. Anyway, that's that. Let's get away from that. Some people like Red Dog, what about crypto? Look at this crazy, crazy, crazy topping tail. Yeah, it's a big topping tail. I've been long Bitcoin. I've tried to have fun with everybody. The turkey trot, I tried to get everyone in on Bitcoin. October 11th, that's when I put that little turkey on the trot saying, hey, you want to buy before Thanksgiving, before everyone talks about it, before your mother-in-law, your Uber driver, your gardener, your school teacher's like, I'm buying. My son is texting me from school telling me that him and his boys are buying Shiba. I'm like, oh, goddamn, well, the sophomores in the high school buying Shiba now on their Robinhood accounts. That means we're getting close to some kind of tippity top. But anyway, and then that happened yesterday. So I'm still in IBIT, but I'm smaller. I was in 5 different miners here. I was in CORZ with you guys. I was in Mara options with you guys. I was in the Wolf. And into this area, I was only in IBIT now. It's up a little bit today, which is nice. I bought some after hours, actually. It was trading lower. Who knows what happens here? Like if it gets, if it opens up and sells down, this is the 8-day moving average. We had 94,000. I would just be a little careful. Little topping tail, little froth. It could use a few days off, and if it does, it shouldn't be a hyper focus. But all in all, what a move. A 7th-month base till I said when this goes, it's going to be like that China move where you'd have to be in it or whatnot. Anyway, coin had a big move. Ethereum, I'm not playing. Thoughts on Intel? I haven't looked at Intel in like 4 years. Why would I guess. I don't know. Maybe a dogs of the Dow play. Maybe people think because Trump wants, a U.S. chip company that it's going to act better. Okay. Still very broken. This to me is like a Boeing type trade where if you really think it's going to change its composure and be better, going into January. Right now it's mid-November. Go out and buy some like 27.50 calls. Buy 20, and that's it. Don't overtrade this. This should not be your cash flow vehicle. Boeing should not be your cash flow vehicle. These aren't trades. These are like concept maybe things, I'm just telling you, you're reaching. What up, Todd D? How you doing? Jerry, SMCI is delaying. Who cares? No one should be in SMCI. SMCI is a broken piece of junk stock. Okay. I told you guys, look at this move. This was your move. This was awesome sequences. Sequences happen and sequences change. And this was above the 821-day moving average and it was awesome. Then it looked like maybe it can go again. And right here it failed. It's been below the 50-day since. I remember right here, I had some options on just in case they came out with a clean 10K and they cleaned it up and then there wasn't any fire around the smoke. And I lost my risk is premium paid, and I haven't looked at it again since. This is a perfect example of not falling in love with this stock, not being involved in something because it was great years ago, and just leaving it. But anyway, whatever. Puts, no, it's not even worth your time. Anyway, from here, again, I'd like to see Apple wake up a little bit. Apple, I feel like, for December, I've been buying some 230 calls, thinking that at some point it takes out 228 and then it takes out 237. But that's kind of just a concept play. It's not great. Meta, I'm just avoiding because it's been really, really, really annoying. The other day it looked awesome, was up $15 and faded. I don't think Meta likes the fact that Trump wants TikTok not to be banned, but whatever. Today's the day to kind of manage things. I wouldn't be chasing crypto, but I don't think you short it. Just be a little bit lighter. Let it kind of situate. At this point, Amazon, I'm going to probably be trimming some. Like, this isn't your day to go cajones to the wall Amazon. I've been buying every dip into here. I've been buying the 212.50s and the 215s, and I got to sell some yesterday. I'll sell some more. I'm still in the stock. You could see it by the Alpha team. Okay, here's the Alpha team that people hang out with me all day long. You get to see my positions. I have Amazon. I rolled them up 212.50s for next week, and I have the 215s, and they're going to be up a decent amount of money. I do have some NVIDIA calls on, just in case NVIDIA wants to get better, just in case it has a good earnings report, but whatever. I'm also in some NVIDIA shares. I'm in, Tesla. I've been massaging. I did buy MSOS 2 days ago pretty well, and we'll see if the whole, the situation gets a little traction. It's only 5:30. It's just a trade, and not a whole hell of a lot. ONON, it was a good trade for earnings. Some think that this TAN, might get like a play that Elon's not so against solar. So I just bought some options, and I'm just going to trade. We do trade here, and what we try and do is we try and stack days to get paid. And at this point, I am playing a little defense as the spies digest up here. So again, I don't want to get caught with a leg sweep, but I'm not fighting the move. I'm just being a little bit more specific on where I'm going to get in. I'm not in the wolf right now. I'm actually thinking about, if we were down, I was thinking about buying the wolf back. The wolf is the wolf. I sold it at $9, which was a great sale. Now it's at $7.50. So, I want to see it kind of rebuild there, and cores. This one is high as 19. So these two are candidates for me to buy back. I just sold them into strength. And everyone's like, why are you taking wolf off at 9? He can go to 12. I'm like, well, I had it from 5 to 9. I'm allowed to take it off. And cores, I actually didn't do as well as other people. And then anyway, I'm trying to be a little lighter on my feet. Next week typically tends to be a lighter week. They bring things in so then they can rally them on Thanksgiving week to get everyone happy for Thanksgiving. So at this point, I'm just trying to be a little tactical. As far as Tesla is concerned, we killed it. My community absolutely killed it on Tesla. They killed it on options into the election and then post. And then we even made a little bit of money selling premium into this move. So now the question is it going to hold here and build and go again? The 8 days now catching up. It's not been the place to be. I've been actually just selling calls above and selling puts below and making premium. At this point, I think Ron Barron's on CNBC today is a huge Tesla bull, so we'll see how it reacts. If he talks about the long-term plans for Tesla and it talks about how bullish he is and it doesn't go up, that probably tells you probably have a little bit more downside here where, if it gets to the 8 day, I'll sell some puts and I'll get a lot bigger. Right now, I'm very small just to stay engaged. So I can watch the price action so I know when it's time to get bigger. All right, guys, I appreciate you. Have a great day. Meta, I'm avoiding Meta for now. Sorry about that.